Jai-Ho's ship hung silently above Earth, hidden by advanced technology that bent light around its sleek hull. He checked his instruments one more time, making sure the humans couldn't detect him. The Galactic Survey had sent him to this blue planet after strange reports from automated probes. Something didn't make sense about these humans. Begin observation log. Jai-Ho said to his ship's computer. Day 1 of Earth monitoring mission. He studied the readouts on his control panel. Earth showed energy usage consistent with a Type 0.7 civilization, still burning fossil fuels, just beginning to harness renewable energy with primitive nuclear capabilities. Yet their communications networks were remarkably complex, with encryption patterns that suggested greater advancement. Curious, Jai-Ho muttered, adjusting his sensor array. Their technology level doesn't match their communication sophistication. He piloted his craft lower, cloaking field still active, and found a small town in a region the humans called Wyoming. It seemed ordinary enough: scattered buildings, roads with wheeled vehicles, farms on the outskirts. A perfect observation point. Jai-Ho established his hidden post atop a hill overlooking a farm. Through his high-powered scope, he watched a human male working on a machine the locals called a tractor. The alien observer expected to see clumsy repairs, but what he witnessed disturbed him. The farmer's movements were precise, almost elegant. He disassembled complex engine parts with basic tools, improvising solutions that suggested an intuitive understanding of advanced engineering principles. The man used a simple wrench and screwdriver to repair what Jai-Ho's analysis indicated was a sophisticated fluid dynamic system. This doesn't align with their technological development stage, Jai-Ho noted in his log. Either their official technology level is wrong, or this individual possesses unusual abilities. As darkness fell, Jai-Ho shifted his observation to the farmhouse windows. Inside, a young human child sat at a table covered with papers. Jai-Ho zoomed in, expecting to see simple schoolwork. Instead, he found complex mathematical equations, calculations involving quantum probabilities and multidimensional physics. Jai-Ho's 3 hearts beat faster. The equations the child worked through would challenge senior analysts at the Galactic Survey headquarters. Yet the child solved them with a simple writing tool, occasionally erasing mistakes and continuing without any computational assistance. Impossible, Jai-Ho whispered. He checked his translator to ensure he wasn't misinterpreting the symbols, but the translation confirmed his suspicion. The child was working on theoretical physics problems well beyond Earth's published scientific understanding. The next morning, Jai-Ho expanded his observation radius. In the small town center, he watched humans interact. Their behavior seemed ordinary until he activated his thermal and electrical field sensors. The readings showed unusual energy patterns in their neural networks, patterns similar to species far more advanced than humans claim to be. At the local school, children played simple games, but Jai-Ho noticed how quickly they adapted to changing rules, showing remarkable pattern recognition. Their teachers appeared to be deliberately limiting the complexity of the material they presented. It's as if they're hiding their true capabilities, Jai-Ho said to his recording device. Not just from outside observers, but perhaps from themselves. That evening, Jai-Ho observed an elderly human female predicting weather changes without technology, using only observation of natural patterns. Her accuracy rate was 97%, statistically impossible without advanced sensing abilities. After 3 days of similar observations, Jai-Ho prepared his first encrypted report to Galactic Survey headquarters. He carefully compiled his findings, knowing his superiors would be skeptical. Preliminary observation of Earth complete, he recorded. Evidence suggests humans are concealing their true capabilities. Their technology appears deliberately restrained compared to their intellectual capacity. Multiple observations indicate cognitive abilities and intuitive understanding of complex systems beyond their official development classification. Jai-Ho paused, considering the implications of what he'd seen. The humans are hiding something. Their capabilities exceed all projections by significant margins. Individual humans demonstrate skills that suggest either accelerated evolution or outside influence. Neither explanation aligns with current understanding of this species. He sent the encrypted message through quantum channels, then prepared his ship for extended observation. This mission had just become much more interesting than expected. Requesting extended observation period, Jai-Ho concluded, "There's more to these humans than anyone suspected. I intend to discover what they're hiding." And why? Jai-Ho adjusted his human appearance in the mirror of his small apartment. His morphic disguise technology transformed his three-eyed, blue-skinned form into that of a human male with dark hair and average height. To the humans around him, he appeared as Dr. Kim, a visiting researcher studying human adaptation to environmental challenges. "Identity integration complete," he said to his wrist communicator. The device now looked like an ordinary watch, beginning day one of direct infiltration. The university had welcomed him easily, his false credentials accepted without question. His position gave him access to human scientific records and close contact with their researchers. The perfect cover. After 2 weeks among humans, Jai-Ho scheduled a secure transmission to his supervisor. The connection established, Tadawan's stern face appeared on his hidden communication device. "Report your findings," Tadawan demanded without greeting. "The inconsistencies are greater than we thought," Jai-Ho said. "I've been studying their historical records. Their developmental timeline makes no logical sense." Jai-Ho displayed charts showing human technological progress. They advanced from basic flight to space travel in less than a century. They went from simple computing machines to global information networks in just decades. That pattern exists nowhere else among the 15,000 species we've studied. Tadawan frowned. "You know faster development happens on resource-rich planets." "Not like this," Jai-Ho insisted. "And there's more. Their scientific breakthroughs often appear without clear predecessors, as if knowledge simply appears." "Observer bias," Tadawan dismissed with a wave of his hand. "You're seeing patterns because you want to find them. Get concrete evidence or return to base. We can't waste resources on hunches." The transmission ended abruptly. Jai-Ho slumped in his chair. He needed proof that would convince even Tadawan. Over the next month, Jai-Ho traveled to different human settlements, documenting unusual cases. In Chicago, he witnessed a bus accident where a human child survived being underwater for 11 minutes, far beyond normal human capacity. The doctors called it miraculous, but Jai-Ho's scans detected unusual neural activity. In mountain regions, he studied humans living at high altitudes, adapting to low oxygen in ways his biology textbooks claimed was impossible. Their genetic profiles showed rapid changes across just 3 generations. During a hurricane in Florida, Jai-Ho watched an elderly woman direct her neighbors to build an emergency shelter. The structure she designed used principles of advanced engineering, creating a stable building from seemingly inadequate materials. When Jai-Ho questioned her later about her knowledge, she simply said, "Just something my grandmother taught me." At night, Jai-Ho compiled his findings, growing more certain that humans possessed untapped potential far beyond their apparent capabilities. One evening, while reviewing energy readings from major human cities, Jai-Ho noticed something strange. Certain locations showed energy signatures that didn't match any known human technology. The patterns resembled quantum fluctuation stabilizers, technology the Galactic Survey considered theoretical, not practical. "This can't be right," Jai-Ho said, checking his equipment for errors. But the readings remained consistent. Jai-Ho tracked the strongest signal to a research facility outside Boston. Officially, it studied climate change effects on marine life, but the energy output suggested much more complex work inside. Using his research credentials, Jai-Ho managed to tour the facility's public areas. Everything seemed normal until his scanner detected a hidden door behind a storage room wall. "Excuse me, I need to use the restroom," Jai-Ho told his guide, then slipped away. He returned to the storage room and examined the wall. No visible controls, but his scanner showed an energy field protecting something important beyond. Jai-Ho placed a small recording device near the hidden entrance, then rejoined the tour. That night, the device transmitted data showing multiple scientists entering the secret area. Their conversations, partially recorded, mentioned breakthrough and consciousness transfer, technology far beyond Earth's official capability. The next morning, Jai-Ho packed his equipment for a trip to Antarctica. His research had turned up unusual energy signatures from a remote station there, supposedly measuring ice melt. But satellite imagery showed a facility 10 times larger than officially reported. "I'll find my proof there," Jai-Ho said, preparing his cold weather gear. "Something isn't right about these humans, and I'm going to discover what they're hiding." He sent one brief message to Tadwan, following concrete lead. "We'll report with evidence soon." The Antarctic wind howled outside as Jai-Ho tracked Dr. Lee's transport vessel across the frozen landscape. The human scientist had left Boston 3 days ago, traveling to this remote facility that officially existed to study ice patterns. Jai-Ho knew better. His small ship, disguised as a weather drone, landed 2 miles from the facility. Jai-Ho activated his thermal suit and stepped onto the ice. The cold bit through his protective gear, but his determination pushed him forward. This was his chance to find real proof. Security scan initiated. Jai-Ho whispered to his wrist device as he approached the facility. The readout showed multiple layers of protection, motion sensors, heat detectors, and something his scanner couldn't identify. "Unusual energy signature detected," his device reported, "similar to quantum barrier technology." Jai-Ho frowned. Humans shouldn't have quantum barriers. That technology was classified level 8 in the Galactic database. Earth was only supposed to be at level 3. Using his cloaking field, Jai-Ho slipped past the first security checkpoint. His device created a temporary blind spot in their cameras. He followed Dr. Lee's access code pattern, watching the scientist enter the facility before mimicking his movements. Inside, the difference between appearance and reality became immediately clear. The walls looked like simple metal and concrete, but Jai-Ho's scanner revealed advanced materials with properties his device couldn't fully analyze. He followed Dr. Lee through a series of corridors, staying 15 steps behind. They passed laboratories filled with equipment that shouldn't exist on Earth. In one room, scientists worked on what appeared to be a quantum computer using crystal matrices instead of silicon. The processing power would exceed anything in human scientific literature by centuries. "Impossible," Jai-Ho whispered, recording everything with his ocular implants. Dr. Lee entered a large chamber where the real work happened. Jai-Ho slipped in behind him before the doors closed. The room contained genetic sequencing equipment connected to growth chambers. Inside the transparent containers, cellular structures changed and adapted in real time. Controlled evolution, Jai-Ho realized, watching the display screens. The humans were directing their own evolutionary path, accelerating changes that should take millions of years. In another section of the facility, researchers manipulated energy fields with technology that rivaled galactic standard. They created and collapsed miniature gravity wells, redirected light around objects, and stabilized quantum states that most civilizations considered theoretically impossible. Jai-Ho accessed a computer terminal while lab technicians were distracted. The files revealed the truth. This work had been ongoing for decades, hidden from most of humanity. The most stunning document outlined the facility's purpose. Project Dawn, preparing humanity for eventual contact with non-terrestrial intelligence through accelerated but controlled advancement. They're hiding their advancement from themselves, Jai-Ho realized, scanning through the classified documents. They know about other life in the galaxy. They're preparing their species gradually. As he downloaded the files, Jai-Ho's cloak flickered. The power source, stressed by the extreme cold, malfunctioned momentarily. Just a second of visibility, but enough. An alarm blared through the facility. Red lights flashed. Jai-Ho ran toward the exit, but security doors slammed shut around him. Intruder in Section 7, a voice announced over speakers. All personnel initiate containment protocol. Jai-Ho tried to reactivate his cloak, but the system had failed completely. He pressed himself against a wall as footsteps approached from multiple directions. Security personnel in black uniforms surrounded him, weapons drawn. "Don't move," ordered a guard, aiming a device Jai-Ho recognized as an energy pulse disruptor, technology humans shouldn't possess. Dr. Lee pushed through the security team. Jai-Ho expected fear, anger, or panic on the human's face. Instead, the scientist studied him with calm curiosity. "Lower your weapons," Dr. Lee told the guards. "But sir, the intruder," a guard began, "is exactly what we've been waiting for," Dr. Lee finished. Then he smiled at Jai-Ho. "We've been expecting someone like you." The guards hesitated but lowered their weapons. "You know what I am?" Jai-Ho asked, abandoning his disguise. "Not specifically," Dr. Lee replied, "but we knew someone would come eventually. The universe is too big for us to be alone." He gestured toward a door. "We should talk. I believe we have much to learn from each other." Jai-Ho looked at the human's extended hand, then at the calm faces around him. They weren't afraid. They were ready. "Yes," Jai-Ho agreed. "I think we do." Jai-Ho sat in a comfortable chair inside a meeting room deep within the Antarctic facility. The walls were simple white, but his scanner detected advanced materials designed to block all signals, both Earth technology and his own. Across from him sat Director Sungmin, a slender human with calm eyes and silver-streaked hair. Dr. Lee stood nearby, quietly observing. "You must have questions," Director Sungmin said, placing a cup of hot tea before Jai-Ho. "As do we." Jai-Ho's training had never prepared him for this scenario. First contact was supposed to happen according to strict galactic survey protocols, not in a secret facility with humans who seemed unsurprised by his alien presence. "How did you know about non-Earth life?" Jai-Ho asked, his translator converting his natural speech patterns to human English. Director Sungmin smiled. "We detected your civilization's signals decades ago. The transmissions from your outpost on your fourth planet reached us in the 1970s. Faint, but unmistakably artificial. We've been preparing ever since." Jai-Ho's 3 hearts beat faster. The outpost on Mars had been abandoned centuries ago. Its automated systems shouldn't have been detectable by primitive technology. "That's not possible with your level of technology," Jai-Ho said. "Our public technology," Sungmin corrected. "What we allow most humans to see is only a fraction of what we've developed." Dr. Lee touched a control panel. A holographic display appeared, showing technological advancement curves for various species. The human line showed rapid advancement, then deliberate plateaus. "We found something troubling in our distant past," Dr. Lee explained. "Evidence that advanced human civilizations existed before and destroyed themselves." Jai-Ho studied the archaeological data they displayed. Ruins deep beneath the ocean, radiation patterns in ancient layers of rock, genetic markers of advanced manipulation in human DNA from thousands of years ago. "We've risen and fallen at least 3 times, Sungmin continued. Each time, our technology outpaced our wisdom. We developed powerful tools before we had the ethical framework to use them responsibly." "So you deliberately slowed your progress?" Jai-Ho asked, beginning to understand. "Technology without wisdom leads to extinction." Sungmin nodded. "We needed time for our ethical development to catch up. The most brilliant minds across Earth agreed to create this deception, to appear less advanced than we are, to develop in secret, to ensure we don't repeat our ancestors' mistakes. Over the next hour, they revealed their true capabilities." Jai-Ho watched demonstrations of interstellar propulsion theories that even the Galactic Survey considered theoretical. They showed him consciousness mapping technology that could transfer a mind between biological and digital states. Energy harvesting systems pulled power from quantum fluctuations in ways that defied the laws of physics as Jai-Ho understood them. "This is beyond anything in our database," Jai-Ho admitted, watching a scientist manipulate gravity with a simple hand gesture. "We've taken different paths than most species," Dr. Lee explained. "Necessity forced creativity." The most shocking revelation came when they displayed genetic comparisons between humans and other species known to the galactic community. "We share genetic markers with 23 known spacefaring species," Sung Min explained, showing DNA comparisons. "Too many similarities to be coincidence." "That's impossible," Jai-Ho whispered. "The implications. We believe Earth may have been a seeding ground, or perhaps a sanctuary, in the distant past," Dr. Lee said. "Different groups of humans may have left Earth, evolved separately across the galaxy, then forgotten their origins." Jai-Ho's mind raced. If true, this would rewrite the Galactic Survey's understanding of many species' evolutionary paths. "Why tell me this?" Jai-Ho finally asked. "You could have captured me, studied my technology." "Because the time for isolation is ending," Sung Min said simply. "Climate change, resource depletion, population growth. Earth faces challenges that global cooperation alone cannot solve. We need to join the galactic community, but on our terms, not as primitives to be guided. We need an intermediary," Dr. Lee added. "Someone who understands both sides. Someone who can help introduce humanity gradually, preserving our cultural identity while helping us join galactic society." Jai-Ho understood the choice before him. Galactic Survey protocol was clear. Unauthorized contact with pre-approved species meant immediate quarantine of the planet and memory adjustment for any locals involved. But these humans weren't primitive. They had developed differently, perhaps more wisely than many species already in the galactic community. "What you're asking would break every protocol I'm bound by," Jai-Ho said quietly. "Yes," Sung Min acknowledged, "but sometimes growth requires breaking old rules. The question is, what do you believe is right?" Jai-Ho looked at the humans waiting patiently for his answer. He faced an impossible choice: follow protocol or trust these remarkable beings. Jai-Ho stood before the Galactic Council, his 3 hearts pounding in his chest. 6 months had passed since his discovery in Antarctica. 6 months since he had made the decision to help humanity join the galactic community on their own terms. "Scout Jai-Ho, you stand accused of violating first contact protocols." High Commander Hejun's voice boomed across the circular chamber. "You revealed yourself to humans without authorization. You shared classified information. You bypassed proper integration procedures." The 7 council members watched from their elevated positions. Representatives from 200 species filled the observation galleries. This hearing would determine not only Jai-Ho's fate, but humanity's introduction to galactic society. "I admit to these actions," Jai-Ho replied calmly. "But the circumstances were exceptional." Hejun slammed his hand on the table. "Protocols exist for a reason. Your reckless behavior has compromised our entire contact strategy." "The humans already knew about us," Jai-Ho countered. "They detected our signals decades ago. They've been preparing for this meeting far longer than we have." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Jai-Ho activated the evidence projector. Images from the Antarctic facility appeared. The advanced technology, the genetic research, the energy manipulation systems. "These are fabrications," Hejun declared. "No Level 3 civilization could develop such technology." "Test them yourself," came a voice from the chamber entrance. The Earth delegation walked in. Director Sung Min leading a team of human scientists and diplomats. They had traveled to the galactic hub on a ship of their own design, surprising everyone with their arrival 3 days earlier than expected. The Science Directorate, led by Eunji, had been examining human technology since their arrival. She rose from her council seat. "The evidence supports Scout Jai-Ho's claims," Eunji announced. "Human technology is genuine. More impressive is their approach to development." She displayed the human technological timeline with its deliberate pauses and ethical integration periods. "Their approach to ethical technology could solve problems we've struggled with for millennia," Eunji argued. "They've developed a system that balances progress with wisdom, something many of our own civilizations fail to do. The debate raged for days. Hajum demanded Jaiho's arrest and human quarantine. Others saw the value in humanity's unique development path. Finally, the Council reached its decision. Humanity would be granted special advisory status within the galactic community. Jaiho would serve as ambassador between Earth and the Council. The transition wasn't easy. Some species feared humans. Others dismissed them as newcomers. But within 5 years, human perspectives had begun transforming galactic society. Human concepts of balanced development led to revisions in technology sharing protocols. Their genetic insights helped species facing evolutionary challenges. Their philosophical approaches to artificial intelligence prevented 3 potential machine rebellions. 10 years after the Antarctic discovery, Ambassador Jaiho stood on the observation deck of Galactic Council headquarters. Below him, Earth representatives discussed the philosophical implications of neural network expansion with delegates from the Proxima system. "Still watching your humans?" a voice asked behind him. Jaiho turned to see Yunji, now High Director of Science. "They continue to surprise me," Jaiho admitted. "They surprised us all," Yunji said. The quarantine faction now admits Earth's integration was the right decision. They watched as the human delegation demonstrated a new approach to consciousness mapping that preserved individual identity while allowing shared experience. They weren't just hiding their capabilities, Jaiho reflected. They were protecting what makes them unique, their understanding that advancement requires both technological and moral growth. The wisdom to know when not to advance. Yunji nodded. Something most of us never learned. Below them, representatives from 30 species gathered around the humans, asking questions, learning the balanced approach that Earth had developed through their secret work. "Did you ever regret your decision?" Yunji asked. "Breaking protocol could have ended your career." Jaiho watched as human representatives helped mediate a centuries-old dispute between 2 ancient species, offering a perspective neither had considered. "Never," Jaiho answered. The humans had hidden something after all. The wisdom our galaxy desperately needed. Sometimes progress means knowing when to slow down. In the council chamber, a new treaty was being signed, one that would reshape technological development across known space. At its core were principles developed in secret Antarctic facilities by humans who had learned from their ancestors' mistakes. They called themselves less advanced, Jaiho said softly. But perhaps they were the most advanced of us all.